Hello, my name is Elkrief, and in this video I'd like to talk about how to stop feeling anxiety and lack because you don't have somebody to love you. So most of us were raised being taught that you need to get married and be in a relationship, or that marriage and relationship and love will make us happy, and that you should get married and have someone love you, and that you will be happiest if somebody loves you and you get married. So, since this is coming from every angle around us in our life, of course we're going to believe it, whether that's consciously or unconsciously. So it doesn't seem like there's a problem in that. We're just pursuing love and marriage. No problem. Except that if we believe that marriage is what we need to be happy, or receiving someone's love is what we need to be happy, then all of a sudden this moment is deemed lesser than. This moment is deemed not as good. This isn't a conscious thought that happens, but if we believe that's the goal, and that's what I want, and that's what I need, then all of a sudden you don't have something you need in this moment. This moment isn't as good. So once we come to that conclusion unconsciously, we begin to feel lacking. We begin to feel a sense of insufficiency, or a sense that something is just missing from our life. And for some of us this is just very subtle sense, and it's only evident through our constant searching to find somebody to love us. And for others it's very apparent. We just have this really strong sense of lack, and we just need somebody to come and love us so that we can be happy and whole and all that. That's normal. That's very, very common. But in addition to that sense of lack, when we believe that marriage will make us happy, or getting someone to love us will make us happy, of course we're going to believe that failure to find someone to love us will make us less happy, or that not finding someone to marry will leave us less happy. So once we come to that conclusion, of course we're going to feel afraid and worried about that outcome happening. So we constantly worry about, I might never find someone to love me, or it would be so bad if I, don't get married. And then now our pursuit of love has this real importance and tension to it, because now our happiness is on the line. And that's not enjoyable. So, if you want to stop having this sense of lack, this sense of something missing, this anxiety about finding someone to love you, about finding someone to marry, then there's a simple way to do it. And that is to examine the fundamental belief that marriage and love can make you happy. Not everybody's ready to do that. So if you don't want to do it, it's fine. You can pause the video here. But if you're ready to actually be happy now, and not wait to get married before you realize that it can't make you happy, then this is the opportunity. So let's examine it right now. So if we believe that marriage and love can make us happy, we're essentially believing that somebody else has the ability to eliminate all the thoughts that make us unhappy. Let me rewind that for a second. What is the cause of our unhappiness? What is the cause of our sadness, our anger, our sense of lack, all that? It's really just our thoughts. It's our negative thoughts about ourselves, our life, others. That's what creates all this shame, lack, anger, guilt, sadness, worry, that type of stuff. So, if we are saying that marriage and another human being can make us happy, we're saying that they can change all those negative thoughts to positive thoughts, or they will just eliminate all of those negative thoughts and we'll be left happy. But that's not really realistic. So just to examine it a little bit further, let's look at a bunch of different types of thoughts that you may have. And then you can look for yourself to see if you think that your partner can eliminate them. Your perceived partner in the future, if they loved you and it was perfect. and they married you and all of that stuff. So, do you have any judgments about yourself? Do you have any insecurities and shame and sense of unworthiness, or feeling certain aspects of yourself you don't like and aren't good enough? All of that is created by thoughts. Can somebody else get rid of all those thoughts if they love you and make you stop feeling that shame and embarrassment and unworthiness? Somebody else doesn't have the power to eliminate those thoughts. Another thing, second thing, do you sometimes worry about what other people think? Do you worry about getting your parents' approval? Do you worry about getting your bosses to like your work? Do you worry about your friends liking you and thinking you're fun? Do you worry about what strangers think of you? Do you sometimes not do what you want because you're worried about all that stuff? So, if somebody loved you and married you, could they get rid of all those thoughts that make you worry about what people think? Nobody has the ability to get rid of those thoughts other than you. Let's look at anger, judgments. Do you sometimes judge the people in your life? Maybe you judge your coworkers, they don't treat you right. Maybe you judge your family, they're crazy. Maybe you judge your friends, they don't do enough for you. Maybe you judge the people in the street and how they're just terrible. Can your partner, can somebody that loves you get rid of those thoughts? No. They can't do anything about those thoughts. Let's look at, let's say, guilt, right? Do you ever do things that you don't like and then feel guilty about it? Are you ever not able to do something that you want to do? Do you ever have a bad habit, that seemingly bad habit, that you want to stop and you just can't, and then you feel bad about yourself? Can your partner, can somebody that loves you, can marriage get rid of those types of thoughts that make you unhappy? What other types of thoughts do we have? Do outcomes or events sometimes happen that you decide aren't good enough or bad and don't happen the way you want, thereby creating sadness, anger, disappointment, and all that sort of stuff? Of course, that happens to everybody. So, can having someone marry you and love you eliminate all your thoughts about how certain events or outcomes didn't go well? No, how can they do that? They can't. So, if somebody loving you doesn't have the ability or the power to eliminate all of these types of thoughts that make you unhappy in your life, or create a sense of lack and shame and anger and all that, then this vision, this fantasy that love and marriage will make you happy is actually false. It has no basis in reality whatsoever. Right? I mean, really, take a moment. Look, what makes you unhappy? Thoughts, that's it. So if you want to be happy, if you want to figure out whether something can make you happy, the only question is, can they get rid of the thoughts that make me unhappy? And clearly, marriage and another human being doesn't have the ability to do that. So, marriage or getting someone's love does have the ability to possibly make you a little happier, right? It can do different things. You might love them, you might enjoy them, they might distract you, they might give you some positive thoughts, it might entertain you. Yes, it can do some of those things, right? But in this moment, if you have a sense of something missing, a sense of lack, because you think it's not good enough that I don't have someone to love me, then once somebody loves you, or once you think somebody loves you, then maybe that thought goes away. Now, all of a sudden, your life isn't not good enough because you don't have someone. But now, likely, you'll begin to have new thoughts that create a sense of lack, about how your relationship isn't good enough, or they're not good enough, or it's not as good as your friend's relationship, or how they don't love you enough, appreciate you enough, all those types of things that will just create more lack and more sense of something missing in your life. And the other thought that you have right now that's creating anxiety, right, is it would be bad if I never find someone to love me. So if you do find someone to seemingly love you and marry you, it's possible, likely even, that you'll lose that thought. That thought won't create anxiety for you anymore. But it will also likely be replaced with a new thought, which is worrying that they will stop loving you, worrying that they will fall in love with somebody else, cheat on you, worrying about what you need to do to maintain their love, worrying about whether you still have their love. So just because you find someone to love you doesn't mean all of a sudden all anxiety about them in relationships is gone. It's just replaced with new types. So for the final point, I'd just like to ask you a question. Why do you want love in marriage? Take a moment now and really look. For most of us, we want love in marriage in order to make ourselves happy. Right? That's why we want love in marriage. Because we think it will make us feel fulfilled, whole, complete, all those types of things. Sometimes it's really unconsciously, we don't see it. We think we just want love in marriage, but really there's an underlying motive behind it. The reason why we want it is because we have a concept of what it will give us. So, if you just want love in marriage in order to make you happy, then when you find somebody to fill that position of the one to love and marry you, then you're going to be essentially using them to make yourself happy. And if you're using someone to make you happy, you're not going to really feel the love for them. You're likely not going to. Right? You're setting yourself up for a situation where you're just using someone to make you happy. Using someone to fill your needs and tell you nice things and all those types of stuff. And if you're not genuinely loving them, if you're not coming at it from an angle of just wanting to love without wanting anything in return, then you're not going to feel the joy and the gratitude and the fulfillment that comes from just loving. Right? So, all that being said, love in marriage doesn't have the ability to make us happy. And what that means is that you don't have to worry about not getting love in marriage because it doesn't mean anything for your happiness. You have no idea whether you'll be happier with marriage and love or not, because love and marriage can't make you happy. So you don't have to fear that outcome. You don't have to worry about whether you'll never get it, because it can't impact your happiness. The thoughts are what create your happiness or unhappiness, not somebody outside you. And in addition, if love and marriage isn't something you need to be happy, or isn't the fantasy which will complete us, then all of a sudden, this moment, there's nothing missing. There's nothing lacking. It's not that this moment is somehow insufficient compared to this unrealistic fantasy. Right? This moment just is what it is. It's not insufficient. There's nothing missing here. So if you can really see that, all of a sudden there's just a lot more freedom here. There's a lot more relaxation here. You don't have to continue to pursue, worry, look, need to find somebody, all that type of thing. You can just relax and just be here. And in addition, we can then start to refocus our attention and our energy just a little bit on what's actually causing our unhappiness. If we can recognize it's just thoughts that make us unhappy, then it's really quite simple to actually just start addressing the thoughts that are making us unhappy. And then we can just be happy right now. We don't need to find somebody. But we can also find somebody. It doesn't matter one way or the other. It doesn't affect our happiness. You can still get married and have kids and love and all that type of thing. It doesn't matter. But the point is, the amount of happiness you experience is completely irrelevant or not dependent on whether you find love and marriage and that type of thing. So I hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you on the next video.